They'll give it to him again. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
They'll run play action. They're bringing heat. And the defense gets to the quarterback.
And he gets home again, continuing his production. Last week, 2 sacks. This week, already a sack in the first half. This guy has been on a sack terror.
Feeling some heat. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
Man, you can't draw it up any better than that. First possession, force a 3rd down. You want to shut the home crowd up, sack the quarterback, create some momentum. Now you're getting the football back to your offense, probably with great field position.
Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. They'll go to the ground. Creates a little space. Got a lot of running room. Inside the 10. Slippery slide. Find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. And the PAT makes it 7-0. What a way to send a message. Huge play in the running game. 1 snap, and you've got a touchdown on the board. The kickoff team out there set to boot it away. Oh, he's going to go for the return. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end zone, and he's knocked down at the 10. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start.
And the pass hits, picked off. Got some room to run. Never really got that return cranking, but the offense is set up at the 30.
Not the start this kid was looking for. Very first pass of the day gets picked off. This is a defense that's got a lot of ball hawks on the back end, and he's got to be real careful with his eyes, not telegraph throws like he did right there. He's going to have to settle in.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. He'll pull it down and run. They finally corral him, but he turns that into a big gain and a first down. The Canes come to the line in the hurry-up. Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. And he sprints to the end zone. Touchdown, Canes. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. They didn't have a whole lot of real estate in front of them when they took over possession, but they wasted no time. Couple of plays into the end zone. So much for the touchback. Here he comes. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped. One back in the backfield. He gets to carry. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season, that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
A third down try for the offense. Looking to throw, it's Nussmeier. Pressure coming. They get to him as he throws. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down. LSU will bring the punt team on the field. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. The speed, the shiftiness, the elusiveness, all on display in that sweet return there. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of balance, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing, Paul.
Yeah, and you got me searching for answers after that last drive. You stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
Still on his feet at the 45. Plenty of room on that play, and they find their way to the 36. No matter who's been leading the program, Miami always wants to be able to run the ball with some physicality.
Yeah, it starts everything. The line of scrimmage starts everything. That attitude starts everything. And the U is known for attitude. And when they play physical, they've got great teams.
The give to the tailback. Makes a man miss. And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down. And the Canes will hustle to the line. They'll run it to the right side. And he earns a first down, and boy, did he earn it after taking that lick. Down to the 18-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Now from inside the red zone. He wants it all. Snagged in the end zone. Touchdown, Hurricanes. No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And the finisher, an 18-yard touchdown throw. Just about set to kick it away. He's going to bring it out from deep. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And, David, they're just going to have to do a better job this time around erasing the mental mistakes.
And just trying to solve the defensive riddle, understanding what they're trying to do to you and attack them.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes, too. He is a versatile back.
Toss to the outside. The Tigers are stopped, but not before getting the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They're going to go right back to him on first down. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again, right? It's been really hard for this offense in this game to run the football, but they finally break off a big run there. That could be the play they need to really generate momentum and get this run game.
And the running back didn't get much there. Nice job by the defense. You can tell they're focused in on this running back, on this run game, being physical, getting knockbacks, and limiting his carries.
Trying to get to it. And the quarterback is snowed under.
You got to be impressed with this defense early in this game, guys. They've got a big lead because they are getting after the quarterback. They've already generated multiple sacks. They thought coming into this game they could take advantage of this.
And the pass is intercepted. Taking it the other way. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception. Really nice focus by this sophomore, and he jumped on his chance to make a play.
And this is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision there.
Looking left. Complete downfield. Works his way to the 4-yard line, and they'll have it 1st and goal. And the Canes want to move quickly. Wide receiver shows motion. To the air, it's Mendoza. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there.
Well, I love the coverage on defense. In the red zone, everyone's got their eyes on the quarterback, and they're flying to the football, and you saw that there on the incompletion.
Extending the play. Throw to the end zone, picked off. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
When you get that quarterback and he starts to leak outside the pocket like that and roll, you roll with him. Those linebackers are supposed to move and shift with them, start to take away the field towards the sideline, because think about it, he's not going to throw.
And it slipped out. The offense somehow fell on it, and they'll retain possession. They stop him just short of the 1st down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up. The drive continues after that fumble scare sent the offensive coordinator's blood pressure into orbit. Fast motion from the offense. At the 40, there he goes. Oh, look out. Running inside the 20. He'll be down at the 4-yard line after that terrific run.
Every time he touches the ball, you can feel the excitement from this home crowd, because Palmer, he can go the distance with that game-breaking speed.
You're right, David. He's a special talent, I'll tell you.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Tigers. It's a much-needed life for this offense as they try to cut away at this lead.
No doubt. Needed something to go right. If you're down, you got to make plays. You got to get your team back in it. Great start. Keep chipping away.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. That last possession, a prime example, Jesse, of how things get condensed in the red zone.
Hard to throw when the windows are smaller, and that's what happens down near the goal line, David. But for this quarterback here, just take accountability and ownership and come out here and lead your offense.
And move on. Like, we needed points. That's something that we can harp on. We'll watch the tape this week, but now it's time to move on. Let's get another drive going.
They've got it. 1st and 10 at the 42. The Canes build their program around playmakers like that.
They do, Reese. And speed on the outside makes everybody so much better. Finding those home run hitters, those playmakers, those are the guys when Miami's rolling, those are the guys they're finding.
Dropping back, it's Mendoza. It's complete. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
Love the awareness by the defense here. They're trying to get the running back the ball in space, but the defense was expecting it. They had guys in position. They located the football, and they went and game time.
We've reached the 2-minute warning, and they will try to build on what has already been a dominant first-half performance. Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on 3rd down. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
Yeah, and 3rd and short, they choose not to run, throw the football, and I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range. They can take the 3 points on the board.
The Hurricanes will go for it here on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. He's got him, and they convert. And they make the striking connection, and they've got it down to the 13-yard line, a red zone chance. From the gun, running back gets the give. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. They'll go right back to the run. Just couldn't get away from the tackle.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, and nowhere to run.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. They'll try to cap off this drive with a field goal from the left hash, and this distance ought to make that angle pretty easy to handle. Oh, the attempt is no good. Missed the field goal, missed the chance to make it a 3-possession game. It's still a 14-point lead. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Finds his man. It's Durham. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. After moving the sticks with the pass, here we are on first down. Looking downfield, it's Nussmeier. Got him downfield. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41.
I'll tell you what, that's great execution between the QB and receiver. They look like they could execute that throw in their sleep. The quarterback took his steps, threw it on time. Great route by the receiver. Nice job securing the catch.
Comes out throwing on first down. Quickly out to the tight end. They make the stop, but the sweet rolling catch is plenty to give them a first down.
They pick up the first down on the drag route. I know that seems like a simple route, but it's actually a lot more complex than what it looks like, because that route changes based on whether it's man or zone. If it's man coverage, he's flying across the field. If it's zone, he's got to sit down over the ball in a soft spot, giving his quarterback a place to go with it. Nice job of those guys being on the same page there.
That one's sort of like a shooter in basketball, just needing to see one go through the net, isn't it, David? Just get a completion to your guy and pick up some yardage.
Build some confidence, because your confidence throwing the ball over the middle of the field and in tight windows, probably not at an all-time high, but check it down, make something positive happen. The running back does his job, so maybe this sparks a little something in the quarterback's head where he can feel a little bit more confident and bounce back from these early mistakes.
Shotgun snap, wants to throw it on third. Going for it all. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. Looking for more room. And they come up with a big play to make sure no more points go on the board before the end of the half. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. He wants to throw. Trying to escape and get it himself. He scrambled forward and got a few and turned that into a positive play. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play. One more snap coming before halftime. Back to pass, it's Mendoza. Lets it fly. Complete to the right. They finally make the stop, but that one will make those halftime stats look a little nicer as we head to the break. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update. LSU ready to boot it away and open this second half. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. They opened this third quarter on top, and they built the lead on the strength of that running game.
And they made a huge statement, too, just proving to the other team that they're more physical, they're winning in the trenches. So here in the second half, David, just keep demoralizing this defense by pounding the football.
Yeah, and I'm not going to let that happen. I riled up my guys at halftime. We're going to put more people in the box, and we got to come out and meet the physical challenge of this offense.
Flips it out to the back. And that play just looked to be a mess from the snap, and he's run out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
You know, as a quarterback, you believe in your matchup. And my running back, if I can get him the ball in space, he's going to win a lot of times. He did in that time. The defense was ready. Nice job in the open field making the nice tackle.
Well, on that last play, you'd like to see the quarterback be a little bit more accurate and give his guy a chance to make the play. That ball wasn't even close to his intended target's body.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on third down. Scanning the field, it's Mendoza. Pocket starts to collapse. And he is corralled short of the line to gain. And the Hurricanes headed quickly to the line. On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. And they gambled in their own end, and now they give up really good field position.
That's a gutsy call. And I know the analytics world says to go for it more often, but when you're in your own territory and now you turn the football over to the other team, points are so much easier to get. Obviously, I know, Jesse, it didn't take a color commentator to figure that out.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Strikes the blow. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one. Now inside the 20, 1st and 10 from the 18. Let's go. Run in the red zone. It's Durham. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. It's a reverse. Slammed to the ground, but not before he gets the first down. And the Tigers look to keep this drive humming. They'll try to race to the edge on 1st and goal with the wide receiver. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And I got to find ways to manufacture some offense down here in this area. The field shrinks. It gets a little bit more difficult. So I got to take a few more chances, get the ball to some speed on the perimeter, try to make some big plays.
They'll keep it on the ground, right up the gut, looking for 6. Dragged down at the 6 after a pickup of 2. This offense simply has to pay this off on 3rd and goal. They desperately need a touchdown. Back to pass, it's Nussmeier. Getting some heat. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back into 16.
Well, here's an interesting decision. It's early in the game. Do you want to be aggressive and try to seize momentum and go for this? Or do you just take the field goal and take the points?
They're going to pass on what would figure to be an easy 3 points and instead go for it on 4th down. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Snap in the shotgun. Unleashes to the end zone. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. You thought they were done. They're not. They're back, baby. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. UCLA is currently ahead in this one, but unlike the days of Terry Donahue, this has not been a blowout today inside the Rose Bowl. They're up by a field goal, over New Mexico. We've got our eye on things here and everything else going on right now, and any updates, you'll see them here, guys.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Got to be smart, patient, great vision, uses all of that to get to the 29. And on second down for this offense. Moving the running back, trying to get the D to tip its hand. That's caught. It's Johnson. And they get him down at the 43, but this is the kind of explosive play you want to build on.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Going to the running game. Bulls his way forward.
They're strong and they're strong. Defensive tackles, they're strong. There's such big jokers in the middle where they just lock out those offensive linemen. And running backs, listen, they don't have much of a chance. When you got that 300-plus pound guy grabbing you around the shoulder pad, you tend to go to the ground pretty quickly. And listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I love teams that commit to the run, and when it's successful, keep running the rock.
Yeah, David, I think this offensive line right now, they've got a lather going. They're really sort of getting in the groove and flow of this game. They're just getting tremendous push at the point of attack. It seems like every single time they decide to run the ball.
And these defensive tackles just eat people. They swallow human beings when you get near them. They're so big, so strong. When those guys, those running backs come in, they just need a mitt. They put one mitt on a running back, and he usually falls to the ground just because of their sheer mass and strength.
And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Finds him out of the backfield. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on fourth down? First down to start the drive after the break. Looking to move it through the air. Caught behind the line. It's Sampson. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
And a great job by the defense, seeing it right away, reacting to the screen, going and getting the football, and getting the fast playmaking on the ground.
The play action fake. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. You make up the game plan, and not a lot on the play sheet for this. Third and long from inside their own 20. Get it out on the screen. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down. They allowed the completion, but this defense was swarming to keep them away from that first down line.
Yeah, and you allow completions in those third down situations underneath the sticks, and you come up and rally, and everybody flies to the football. That's great execution by this defense.
Throws to the wideout. And it's picked off for the fourth time today.
Oh, man, and that's a big interception late in this game. And listen, I know you're trying to go vertical with the four verts, but so did the defense. Great job staying deep, playing the football in the air, and forcing the ginormous turnover.
He's going to let one fly down the middle. Here's an interception. Oh, did they need that turnover? Got room on the return. That's why you love veterans in this defense. They stay locked in on their roles, and he made the pick. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last pick.
You're dang right. Clear the mechanism. It's over, move it behind. Some players can't do that real well, and it leads to more mistakes, Jesse. You got to just forget about it and move on.
And I think the coaching staff can help him too, David. I think you can get the running game going here and also give him some easy throws.
They almost had another interception. They're trying to set records out there.
And Reese, listen, we already know. He already threw the interception the last drive. We got to get this together. This is a couple bad plays that we've put together now. If I'm an OC, I'm going to make this simple. Maybe I run the football. Maybe I get him a screen. Something easy maybe to get him a little bit back in the rhythm.
And the completion gives him a fresh set of downs and keeps this drive moving.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting first conversion.
Just a short pass to the tight end. Stopped after making the catch.
This offense has their work cut out for them, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
Back to the air one more time. Slings it downfield. And that makes 5 interceptions in this one. The nightmare is alive. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
He's just Johnny on the spot. Now his second interception of the game, doing a great job reading the quarterback's eyes, and he's just been in the right place at the right time making plays.
Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
Well, they've got the lead. The defense just did their part, getting a takeaway. So now if they're on offense, you want to run the ball and take as much time as possible between snaps. Stay in bounds and let this clock tick away.
It's complete. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. They're trying to get to it. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
And how about the defense getting home with the pass rush? Playing man coverage in the back end. You need to win up front. Those guys got to get to the quarterback. Do a great job rushing the passer. I can play man when I got a pass rush like that.
Looking to throw, it's Mendoza. Unloads to the wideout. And it's picked off. That's the turnover they desperately needed. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Let's go. This is how you make it interesting. Your defense has to come through, has to make the big play, and they do. Clock running out, you get the ball back to your offense. Way to force the issue, create the interception.
Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. He wants to throw here on 2nd down. And it's another interception as his assault on the record book continues. Never really got that return cranking, but the offense is set up at the 30.
It's such a fine line offensively. Late in the game, you got to score, you got to make big plays, but you can't turn the football over. Big-time mistake. This one might cost him.
He's got his man. And the defense coming with bad intentions. They knock him down for a loss.
He was not fooled on that one. You know, a lot of times you want to buy space, and you throw this route really when it's off covered. But you could tell the cornerback was up, ready to come, pounce on that screen, and get the tackle for a loss.
Quarterback on the move, still looking. Nothing open downfield, so he'll just toss it away.
Know the situation, know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there. I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. We go on to the next down. No harm, no foul.
Gonna throw it to the right. He's got his man. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47. That was a really well-run route on the curl to pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, and it's a nice job, too, by the receiver, getting his depth and then finding space in between the defenders, giving his quarterback a nice target.
Got room at the 35. Oh, no, the ball popped out. And you could just feel a collective sigh of relief when that ball rolled out of bounds.
Yeah, that defense, they looked excited. You see all those bodies trying to run over and jump on that football? That offense is very lucky that thing trickled out of bounds.
The Canes will snap it on 1st and 10. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. On 2nd down, let's see if they go right back to the run and put this game on ice. They try to pop a run on the draw. And he was able to shed a tackle and pick up the first down before they finally get him on the ground.
Man, this offense would really like to lean on this guy in the fourth quarter, right? They've got the lead, and you just saw his ability there, breaking a tackle. He looks like he's getting stronger as the game goes on. I'd expect him to get a few more carries here before this game's over.
And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
Man, that's the advantage of having a good coaching staff that teach these players in this type of situation with the lead late in the game. You want to stay in the field of play and keep the clock ticking. They do that after that nice run.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Defense will take a timeout with 28 seconds left.
And it's a great play by the defensive end. The most athletic players on the field play defensive end. Yes, you heard me, Jess, Reese. Exactly what I said. Great get off. Great job getting the backfield, making the play.
They'll leave it with him. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker. The defense will take a timeout. 25 seconds left to play. So on fourth down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. Good, right down the boulevard. And that will extend their lead even further. With that field goal, now it takes a touchdown to beat them, so you want to pin them back and then let the defense have a little room to work with. Going for the return. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. I know the situation looks bleak, but have we nothing if we don't have hope, David?
Amen. I mean,
and he'll be knocked down at the 2-yard line. Clock is stopped. Timeout used by the defense. 14 seconds left. After the big first down sack for the D, it's second down. Coming after it. Catch in the middle. It's Durham. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. They get the timeout call with 7 seconds left on the clock. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, backed up inside their 20. To throw, it's Nussmeier. They're bringing heat. They're going to get him for a safety. Tried to make something out of nothing and still got stuck for the 2. After getting caught for a safety, they're lined up and ready to kick it off. Fields to punt and try to pick up some yards. We sensed a great deal of confidence